With the year 2019 almost coming to an end, let's take a look at the most transcendent NBA players this decade. How's it going, guys? My name's Wilson. In case you guys get confused, I'm not talking about who's the best player this decade. I made a video on that right after the 2019 finals. Here's the link above if you haven't watched it. One thing I'll be very clear is LeBron James is by far the best player in the 2010s decade, and it's not even close, but he's not the most transcendent. Guys who's changed the game dramatically, combined with their unique play styles where we never seen in years past. With that said, here are 10 of the most transcendent players of the 2010s decade. Starting with number 10, Anthony Davis. One of the best one-and-done players college basketball has ever seen. The brow had the complete package at 6'10", coming into the league. His unibrow already separated him amongst other greats. Having a 7'4" wingspan combined with unreal athleticism, his versatility makes him arguably the most unique power forward the game has ever seen. Not very physically built, but moves as quick as some guards. Having a 7-inch growth spurt within a year span in high school, he blocks shots as good as anybody today, has solid handles, takes his opponents off the dribble from 18 feet out, more athletic than Tim Duncan and Kevin Garnett, arguably better scorers than both of them, but not as strong as Duncan, doesn't have Garnett's playmaking skills, but more unstoppable around the rim, one of the most fluid power forwards we have ever seen. Number 9, Nikola Jokić. His vision for a center is unique and unlike anything we ever seen since prime Arvydas Sabonis. At 7 foot, very clumsy looking, slower than most players, and not very athletic in regards to NBA standards, his vision and court awareness is a thing of beauty. The first center to put up over 6 assists in a season since Wilt Chamberlain, and came out of nowhere as the 41st pick in the 2014 draft. The main reason why Denver's a great team is because of Jokić. Even in today's game dominated by perimeter players, it's extremely rare for a center to be the leader and number 1 option on a contending team. While his advanced stats are through the roof, he orchestrates the offense beautifully, essentially the point center. Is always 2 steps ahead of everybody else. Despite having a down year, the Serbian native has already proved a big man don't have to physically dominate his opponents with his strength and size like others do, but can also dominate without even scoring a single point. Number 8, Luka Dončić. As of right now, since we only seen a season and a half of Dončić in the NBA, I guarantee he will become more transcendent as time goes on. At 20 years old, young Luka is already a basketball Hall of Famer, without question. Playing against grown men and former NBA players for years now, from winning EuroLeague MVP at 18 years old, the second best league in the world. The 6'7" point forward is by far the most accomplished international player before being drafted, and runs the offense for Dallas, putting up 30-point triple-doubles, making all his teammates better, and winning like it's normal. Dončić makes his whole team better, very poised and relaxed, plays like a 10-year vet. At this early stage of his career, there's never been anybody like him. One can argue he's Magic Johnson and Larry Bird put together, has all the skills in the world, and having one of the most unstoppable step-back jumpers, he can simply score on anybody at any time. Perhaps the best 20-year-old we have ever seen. Number 7, Russell Westbrook. His relentlessness and athletic ability at this point is unlike anybody we have ever seen, except for a young Derrick Rose, accomplishing things we thought might be impossible, averaging a triple-double for 3 straight seasons, grabbing double-digit rebounds at 6'3" is truly remarkable, even though sometimes that's his primary focus with OKC. His motor, hunger, and physical abilities for a guy his size is just breathtaking. His passion and aggressiveness reminds many of Allen Iverson, more of a 2-guard who plays the point. While many still question whether his game and style will translate to winning basketball come playoff time, after 3 straight first-round exits post Kevin Durant, the 31-year-old is still an elite point guard, but his legacy remains a mystery at this point. Number 6, Dirk Nowitzki. 21 years of greatness and loyalty. I have Dirk in this era, since he proved doubters wrong, being able to finally lead his team to a title. Before 2011, the 7-footer was labeled as soft, where many experts were still hesitant about European players coming into the league, whether they be able to handle the physicality of the game. But not only was Nowitzki able to excel and dominate as a skinny unknown prospect from Germany, his one-legged step back and outside shooting paved the way for many others who followed his footsteps, like Kristaps Porzingis and Larry Markkanen. Many didn't think it was possible for a European to win MVP, let alone lead his team to one of the most incredible playoff runs all time. Combined with his positive attitude, taking less money year after year, Dirk also finished his career with over 31,000 career points, and certainly paving the way for Luka from one Mavs legend to the next. Number 5, Kevin Durant, perhaps the most talented scorer we ever seen. At near 7 feet, with insane handles, playing like a guard, nobody in the history of the game makes scoring look so easy. Automatic from mid-range, one of the best shooters all time as well. Coming into the league, he was a mixture of Dirk Nowitzki and Tracy McGrady put together. With all the offensive skills in the world, can fit in and play with any team and dominate in crunch time with a 7'5" wingspan, making his shot unguardable. People love to discredit his greatness since he joined Golden State, but KD doesn't get enough credit for his dominating performances in the biggest of games. Averaging 30.3 points in the finals, was at the height of his powers the first 2 rounds of the 2019 playoffs before his injury. If he didn't get hurt, KD would have likely won his 3rd finals MVP. Number 4, Giannis Antetokounmpo, one of the most unique athletes we have ever seen. At 6'11", with a 7'3" wingspan, unlike the other stars, he was an unknown prospect selected outside the lottery. His greatness took time to develop, went from a single-digit scorer to averaging over 12 a game to 17, 23, 27, 28, and now putting up 31 and 13 in his 7th season. Just turned 25 years old. The Greek Freak is the most dominating offensive force down low since Shaq. Has a body like a traditional center, but guard-like skills, insane speed, can dictate the flow of the game, and transforming his physique. Gaining 51 pounds since his rookie year, there is no ceiling on how good Giannis can be. 2 years ago, even Kevin Durant said Giannis could end up being the best player to ever play if he really wanted to. Even with a not so good outside jumper, it's been much improved this season, where many times there is nothing anybody can do to stop Giannis, a force at both ends of the floor. Number 3, LeBron James, the best of this generation. His style didn't change the dynamic of the game, but because he adapted and became a better outside shooter over time, combined with his physical tools and awareness of the game, allows him to excel in his 17th season. James is a guy who can dominate in any era, whether it's the mid-2000s with low post scoring and high-level physical defense of the 90s, or now in the 3-point era where he just runs the show for his team. LeBron just flat out destroys guys every time he plays. That's the best way to describe him. But his polarizing personality, being the first player to take control of his destiny, flirting with free agency multiple times, going wherever he chooses, asking other stars to come join him. From joining Miami, forming a big 3, to getting a Dirk star in Kevin Love to Cleveland, to getting Anthony Davis on the Lakers, James was responsible for all those moves, and because of his power and status as the face of the league, it led Kevin Durant joining Golden State, Kyrie and KD teaming up as buddies, and Paul George and Kawhi teaming up in LA. The commitment for one player to stay on a team long term is almost gone. For the next decade, don't be surprised to see many superstars sign short-term deals and enter the market every other year, or play for 3 different teams in 3 years. Number 2, James Harden, who'll go down as one of the most revolutionary players we have ever seen, averaging close to 40 a game this season so far, over 36 last season. His offensive mastery is a work of art unlike any player we have ever seen. Not only is his step back jumper unstoppable, he's got all the bag of tricks up his sleeve. Getting even double teamed, he still puts up 40 a night. Many times he takes about 23s a game like it's normal. Almost every player would be benched if they took as many shots as Harden, who's also a king of making his defenders create contact. When shooting a 3, often gets 4-point plays, or purposely locks arm with the opposing defender when he drives, forcing the ref to blow the whistle every time. Even if he goes 3 of 18 from the field, it's crazy that Harden will still end up scoring 28 points on 21 free throws made. His heavy workload makes him easily one of the most durable players. Attempting 13 free throws a game is unprecedented for a shooting guard, just as much as 2001 Shaq. We all know how point guards excel under Mike D'Antoni's system, but Harden takes it to a whole nother level. Despite getting much criticism for his tactics, it simply works, especially in the regular season. The Beer's creativity, being able to do whatever he wants offensively, combined with his stroke, handles, crossover, his balance and shiftiness with the Euro step, the one-legged fadeaways, scoring 50 without even breaking a sweat. Many people forget he also led the league in assists in 2017. With his team huge on analytics, Harden has taken the most effective basketball metrics to a whole nother level. Not shooting many mid-range shots, he simply jacks up 3s at an insane rate. His career would be an absolute travesty if he never leads his team to a championship. Of all the players today, Harden's by far the hardest to officiate, and if it wasn't for the D'Antoni system, Harden might not have been as transcendent. Number 1, Stephen Curry. He's not as good as LeBron James, but Curry had the most profound impact to the game itself than anybody else, arguably since Michael Jordan. At 6'3", 190 pounds with a skinny frame, he's not the most athletic, can't do insane dunks, but can shoot it and knock it down from literally anywhere on the court. His stroke is a work of art, already the best shooter the game has ever seen. Before 2015, many never thought a team playing small ball who heavily depends on the three-point shot would win a championship, because Curry had plenty of success annihilating teams early with his shooting, having the best 5-year plus minus of any player this decade. Golden State gets outscored badly when he's on the bench from 2015 to 2019. It drives opposing teams crazy. Combined with his ability to score without the ball, constantly running and getting good shots, he makes it look effortless. A lot of kids growing up today want to be like Steph. With his insane ball handling, vision, and small frame, the game spacing is paid attention to like never before. Efficiency has also never been measured to such a higher standard. And when Curry's breaking three-point records, he's doing so playing fewer minutes than expected, taking over small ball. Many of the centers who can't shoot are nearly all extinct, proving that shooting, spacing, and defensive mobility far outweighs the lost rim protecting and defensive rebounding in the paint. Centers like Brook Lopez and Marc Gasol now shoot threes to be effective. If it wasn't for Curry, a guy like Trae Young likely would have never been a top 5 pick given his lack of size. A 30-footer would be considered a very bad shot years ago, but now it's just a trend. A lot of big men before coming into the NBA now loves to shoot threes. Just like the way how Michael Jordan influenced the game in the 80s and 90s, everybody wanted to be like Mike, wanted to hang like Mike, and wanted to dunk like Mike, which brought in Kobe Bryant, who modeled his game after the great Michael Jordan through hard work and dedication, learning from the very best, becoming the best player in the 2000s. But MJ's athletic ability also hurt the game in many ways, since a lot of athletic guys in the early 2000s were drafted top 5 with no skill, just on pure athleticism alone, but ended up being huge busts. Going forward, if a prospect can shoot well, they would be viewed more highly in upcoming drafts because of how Steph Curry revolutionized the game. Overall, being a great outside shooter is a necessity in today's NBA. Shooters can always shoot, and a lot of them can still play till 40. Honorable mentions includes Ben Simmons with great size at the point guard position, but hasn't dominated as much yet, not a superstar yet, and still lacks confidence on his overall game and jumper, but very unique at 6'10", running the point. And if Derrick Rose was healthy long enough, who knows how insane he would have been in his prime. Also Klay Thompson, who reminds me a lot of Ray Allen, a master at the outside shot. He was the perfect backcourt mate for Steph, allowing Golden State to become the most dominant team of the decade, so he deserves a mention as well. Thank you so much for watching this video. I love all of you. See you next time.